Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Ever since the Dubai pathway video is out on my channel, my inbox flipped to another country, Australia. What's the pathway after MD or DNB anesthesia? Is there one exam like the DHA? Can I just clear something and fly down? So let me be straight with you. I have not walked the Australia pathway myself, so I'm not going to fake experience I don't have. But what I did is go deep, read the official ANZCA, medical boards of Australia, AHPRA and AMC pages, the current ones updated after the December 2024 reforms, and looked hard at what anesthetists already on this pathway are actually saying. So, in the next few minutes, you'll get the real current map, not a recycled 5-year-old forum post that will waste a year of your life. So, let's go. So, here is the thing you have to accept before anything else. Australia is not a one shot exam like DHA. There is no clear it in 3 hours and you are done type of scenario. Australia is a comparability assessment plus a period of supervised practice run by Anaesthesia College ANZCA, the Australian and New Zealand College of Anaesthetists. They look at your training, compare it to an Australian trained specialist, and decide how much more you need to do before you can practice independently and earn their fellowship FANZCA. So reset the mental model. DHA was a sprint, Australia is a campaign. Once you get that, everything else makes sense. If that framing alone just saved you from a wrong turn, do me a favor. Hit subscribe and like this video so this reaches more doctors before they make an expensive mistake. Done? Let's map it. So before we dive in, check the apps Anesthesia Notes and ANMCQ. Anesthesia Notes for gold standard handwritten notes for the MD DNB final exams and for practice in general to keep yourself updated. And ANMCQ app has got super high yield MCQ banks for clinical problem based learning of anesthesia and critical care, exactly how the UK, Australia, Middle East, even NEET SS would expect. Check them out from App Store and Play Store. And without wasting any time, let's dive into the video. So remember, 5 players control this journey. Know who does that. AHPRA plus the Medical Board of Australia. They grant your registration, no practice. Final authority. Next, ANZCA, the Anaesthesia College. For us, they are the main assessor. They decide how comparable you are and run the fellowship pathway. And number 3, AMC, the Australian Medical Council. You build a portfolio with them and they run the standard exams if you go that route. And next is ECFMG or EPIC. This is who verifies your MBBS or your MD DNB at the source. Same EPIC system many of you already know. And next is the Department of Home Affairs, the visa. Registration and visa are two separate mountains. You climb both. So keep these 5 in your head. Every steps belong to one of them. Now, this is the question everyone gets wrong. Let me give you the legal pathways as they stand today. Pathway number 1, the expedited specialist pathway. This is the fast one everyone's excited about. The medical board added anesthesia to it in December 2024. You apply directly to the board, do 6 months of supervised practice, an EMSC course and some assessments, and you are a registered specialist fast. But here is the catch, and please hear this. The fast track only accepts qualifications on an official accepted qualifications list. For anesthesia, that list right now is only for UK and Ireland. If you are trained in India, this pathway is not for you, at least not yet. Anyone selling you a fast track for Indian anesthetists is just selling you smoke. So don't build your plan on it. Pathway 2, the specialist recognition pathway through the ANZCA SIMG assessment. This is the real Indian route. SIMG stands for Specialist International Medical Graduate. You send your training to ANZCA, they assess your comparability and then decide your road to fellowship and specialist registration. Next is Pathway 3, Area of Need. Australia has regions short of doctors. You can take a specialist level job in one of those areas of need on a limited registration while you go through the SIMG process. It doesn't hand you specialist registration by itself, but it lets you start working and earning in Australia sooner. You apply for it alongside SIMG. At the pathway 4, the fallback, the AMC standard pathway, then ANZCA training. If you are not eligible as a specialist yet, say you are fresh out of MD or DNB with little post-qualification experience, you do the AMC exams for general registration. Then compete for an ANZCA training post and basically train as a registrar in Australia. It is the longest road available. And note, India is not a competent authority country. So that shortcut some US and UK doctors use is not available for us. So for a qualified Indian anesthetist, The spine is SIMG, often combined with area of need to start working sooner. That's the truth. Now, before you spend a rupee, check the eligibility for the SIMG pathway. Broadly, ANZCA wants a minimum of 72 months, 6 years of total training and experience as a registered doctor, a 12-month rotating internship after your MBBS, a formal specialist anesthesia training program. And here is a nuance that catches Indians out. Because India is treated as a non comparable health system, they look for a combined equivalent of at least 48 months of formal specialist training and structured postgraduate specialist experience, not the 36 of a comparable system. You must be eligible for a specialist registration as an anesthetist in India, your MD or DNB, and registration. You should be active in CPD and having practiced anesthesia in the last 12 months is what they want to see. The recency matters. Now do the math on yourself honestly. Indian MD or DNB anesthesia is 3 years, that's 36 months. You can't retroactively stretch your residency. But ANZCA lets you add it up. Your senior residency, a fellowship year, or consultant practice can be counted towards that 48-month bar as long as you document every training period clearly. Same if you did a DA and then a post diploma DNB. The structured anesthesia time can count if the total adds up. So a fresh graduate with nothing after their degree often falls short. You usually need 1 to 2 years of solid post MD experience just to pass the initial filter. This is exactly why so many people stall. They apply too early. If you have a junior or a senior on this path, this is the trap they'll tell you about. And when ANZCA assesses you, you get one of the three outcomes. And this single result decides how long and how hard your road is. Substantially comparable. The best outcome. A shorter period of supervised practice, a workplace performance assessment, and you are heading to a fellowship. Often no exam. The second one is partially comparable. The most common outcome for an experienced Indian specialist. A longer tailored period of supervised practice in an accredited department, the EMAC course, the performance assessment, multiple source feedback. And you may be asked to sit the ANZCA exam, often the final viva. And the third one is not comparable, the toughest. In the plain terms, you are not eligible to continue on the specialist SIMG track. Your route then becomes the ANC standard pathway and competing for an ANZCA training post, which means the ANZCA primary and final exams, plus around 3 years of training, close to retraining. For the Indian anesthesia community, this is a common verdict when you have only 3 to 4 years of experience. The more post specialist experience, subspecialty work, audits, logbooks, CPD you bring, the better your outcome is. Experience is leverage to Australia. Go in light, you'll be asked to do a lot. Okay, assuming you are eligible, here is the order. Some of these run in parallel. Step 1, English. Non-negotiable for everyone. The standard is IELTS academic. Overall 7 with 7 in listening, reading and speaking and 6.5 in writing or the OET or PTE equivalents. You can combine 2 sittings within 12 months. And remember, your result is only valid for 2 years. So don't sit it too early. If your epic verification or job hunt drags on, an expired score means sitting the whole thing again. So time it right. Now step 2. Verify your qualifications. Open an AMC portfolio and get your MBBS and your MD or DNB degree primary source verified through ECFMG Epic. Start this early. It depends on how fast your college and university respond. And that can take even months. Step 3. Apply to ANZCA for the SIMG assessment. This is a real dossier. Your CV, logbooks, references, CPD records, audits, quality projects, certificate of registration, certificate of good standing, covering the last 10 years. ANZCA does the preliminary review, then for Indian applicants, an interview with the panel of fellows and a community representative, usually over Zoom. And at the end, you get your comparability outcome. Step 4. And this is the real bottleneck. Get a job. To do your supervised practice, you need an approved anesthesia position in an Australia hospital, signed off before you start. And here is the practical bit nobody tells you. Don't just sit on LinkedIn. Go straight to the state government health job portals, NSW Health, Queensland Health, SA Health, and Victorian Health Services. That's where these roles actually live. The big annual medical recruitment campaigns typically open around May to July for positions starting the following February, though it varies by state. So track them early. You'll compete with local trainees and other SIMGs. Anesthesia is competitive precisely because it's well paid and well respected. A smart move, regional and area of need positions are often an easier way in while you progress your SIMG. Alongside the job, you sort your visa. Anesthetist is on the core skills occupation list. So the usual route is employer sponsored skills, in demand visa subclass 482 with permanent residency later through employer or state nomination. Step 5, supervised practice and assessments. You complete your clinical practice assessment period, reported every 3 months, do the EMAC crisis management course, and sit the SIMG performance assessment. A day in your real workplace, observed by 2 fellows, plus any exams your outcome required. And step 6, fellowship and registration. Clear it all. And you apply for FANZCA, then full specialist registration with the medical board. That is the summit. Now let me give it to you the way the doctors already on this path describe it. The hardest part is not the test. It's two things. Your comparability outcome and landing that first approved job with visa sponsorship. The clinical exams scare people, but the job campaign is what actually delays them. Number 2, budget seriously and watch the currency. Add it up. Epic verification and the AMC portfolio around 650 Australian dollars. ANZCA application, interview, annual and assessment fees, EMAC course, exam fees, English test, the visa, relocation, one trap, ECFMG or Epic fees are billed in US dollars, while ANC and ANZCA fees are in Australian dollars. Don't just add them blindly on one sheet. Realistically, this is a 5-figure Australian dollar journey spread over a couple of years. And mind you, an age warning for senior consultants. Ironically, the more experienced you are, the better your comparability score. But standard PR pathways like subclass 189, 190, and 186 direct entry generally cut off at age 45. But the good news, doctors have exemptions. If you work 2 years in Australia on a 482 and earn above the high income threshold, which anesthetists comfortably do, you can still get PR through the 186 temporary residence transition stream. And there is separate exemption for doctors working in regional areas. So if you are mid-career, plan the 482, then PR route deliberately. And also know the Medicare moratorium, but don't panic about it. Under Section 19AB, overseas trained doctors face a 10-year window where Medicare billing is restricted to a workforce shortage area. But here is the key for us. Salaried work in a public hospital is not restricted at all. And that's where most SIMG anesthetists start. It only really bites if you move into private billing and shrinks with rural scaling. And the 10-year clock only runs out once you are a permanent resident or a citizen. But the upside is real. Anesthetists are in high demand, especially regionally. The pay and autonomy are strong. The permanent residency is a realistic destination. This is a hard road that genuinely pays off. Now you tell me, is there one exam like DHA? No. It's an assessment plus supervised practice. Exams only if your outcome requires them. Can I go straight after MD or DNB? Usually not as a specialist. Most fresh grads don't meet the experience bar. You either build experience first or take the longer AMC then training route. Does my DA plus DNB count? It can. The structured anesthesia training time can count towards that 48-month equivalent if the total adds up. But the catch is documentation. Get clean certificates for every training block with exact dates. Are exams always required? No. Only if your outcome calls for them. Substantially comparable often means no exam. Partially comparable frequently adds the ANZCA final viva. And if you are routed to the training program, the primary and final are unavoidable. Now, what if I can't land an anesthesia job? Real talk, many Indian doctors pivot. And it's not failure. Your critical care and acute skills travel well. People move towards intensive care, which has its own SIMG route through CICM, emergency medicine, or general practice through RACGP pathway, usually via the AMC standard pathway. It can be faster way to start working and earning in Australia while you decide on the long game. Now should I try New Zealand? New Zealand has its own ANZCA linked route through the Medical Council of New Zealand, and many do use it as an entry point. It's again a whole video on its own. Tell me in the comments if you want it. Now, do I need a job before I move? For the SIMG supervised practice, yes, you need an approved position. The job is central, not optional. Also, the same warning as always, you will see agents promising guaranteed PR, fast track fellowship for Indians, will get you registered for an upfront fee. Be very careful. No agent grants registration. Only the medical boards does. No one puts Indian qualifications on the expedited list by paying. Use migration and credentialing help if you want, but verify every single claim against the official ANZCA, AHPRA, and AMC websites yourself. Your money and your years are too valuable to gamble. So finally, the ones who struggle almost always made the same mistakes. They applied too early, They trusted outdated information or they underestimated the job hunt. Now you won't. If this video gave you clarity, subscribe and share it with one of your friends who keeps saying, I'll figure out Australia someday. Head to karthikmd.com. Don't forget about anesthesia notes and ANMCQ apps. Do drop any comments if you have any first hand experience on this. This is Dr. Karthik signing off.